By the end of this video, you will be able to understand how to calculate the efficiency of biomass transfers between trophic levels, understand how much of the biomass from each trophic level is transferred to the next level, and be able to understand how biomass is lost between different trophic levels. So far you've been studying pyramids of numbers and pyramids of biomass. Here is a representative diagram of a pyramid of biomass. You can see on the first trophic level we've got the producers, the second trophic level we've got the primary consumers, followed by the secondary consumers, tertiary consumers and quaternary consumers, or indeed in this case the apex consumer. You can see the suggestions from this diagram that between trophic levels there is the loss of energy, in this case in the form of heat. And during the lesson on pyramids of biomass, you were looking at what is meant by biomass and why it's important. So looking at pyramids of biomass, we realise that not all of the biomass in each trophic level is passed on to the next trophic level in a food chain. So not all of the producers are eaten by the primary consumers, not all of the primary consumers are eaten by the secondary consumers, and so on. So it's important to understand how much of each of the biomass from each trophic level is transferred to the next level. In other words, the efficiency of the biomass transfer, and how biomass is lost by organisms at each trophic level within the food chain. In order to do so, let's look at a worked example. This is understanding how to calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer. So step 1, write out the formula. Efficiency of biomass transfer in percentage equals the biomass available after the transfer in grams or kilograms divided by the biomass available before the transfer in grams or kilograms, all multiplied by 100. So let's take an example and use the equation. A lamb gains a mass of 12 kilograms after consuming 150 kilograms of grass. Calculate the energy of biomass transfer. So we've got 150 kilograms of grass being consumed by this lamb, and the lamb gains 12 kilograms having consumed that 150. So first of all, we write out the formula. Efficiency of biomass equals the biomass the biomass after the transfer divided by the biomass available before the transfer times by 100. So 12 kilograms divided by 150 kilograms equals 0.08. Multiply your answer by 100, and of course therefore we get 8%. A couple of tips. Remember to include the percentage sign in your answer. Without that you may lose marks, so make sure that units are in your answer. And also, before you begin your calculation, make sure that both of your measurements of mass are in the same unit. Do that before you begin. So here's an example. I want to encourage you to show all of your workings. It may be that you arrive at the answer that's incorrect, and perhaps you may pick up some marks for workings. So make sure that you show all workings. And the maximum efficiency of biomass transfer is about 10%. So make sure that if your answer is significantly larger or smaller than that you recheck your calculation for any errors. So question 1, calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer shown below. Okay, 18 grams divided by 360 grams times by 100. It's in the same units, and we get, if we do that, we get 5%. Let's move on to the next question. The following table shows some biomass data collected by students showing the plants and animals present in a school field. So we've got 3 organisms, a ladybird, or ladybirds, we've got greenfly, and we've got birch trees. The total biomass are those units in the table, and the question, calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer between the greenflies and the ladybirds. Please pause the video, showing all your working out, and then I will give you the answer when you press play again. Okay, let's work through the answer. So, efficiency of biomass transfer equals the biomass available after the transfer divided by the biomass available before the transfer times by 100. So 180 in this case because ladybirds have eaten the green fly, so it's 180 grams divided by 2000 grams of green fly times by 100. That gives us a measurement of 9%. So 1 mark here for saying 180 over 2000 and 1 mark for saying 9%. Make sure again that you do include your units. Okay, let's do another example. A cheetah gains 1.2 kilograms of mass after eating 15,000 grams of gazelle. Part A, state the mass of the gazelle in kilograms, and Part B, calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer between the gazelle and the cheetah. Please pause the video, making sure that you show your workings out. Okay, let's look at the answer. This question is helpful in that it's given you an indication for Part A that the units are not the same, and therefore it's leading you into the right answer and getting you to convert 15,000 grams into kilograms, and of course divide that by 1,000 so we get 15 kilograms. Part B, calculate the efficiency. So we've got 1.2 kilograms of mass in the cheetah after eating the 15 kilograms of the gazelle times by 100, and we get an answer of 8%. 1 mark for 1.2 kilograms divided by 15 kilograms and 1 mark for 8%. And the final question that I want us to talk through just now is this. State and explain why the efficiency of biomass transfer is low between rabbits and foxes. In starting this 6-mark question, I suggest that you start with a plan. What are the key words that you want to include in your answer? Put those down the side of the page, in the margins, at the top or at the bottom of the page. Just jot down some of the key words that you might want to include in this answer. Then I suggest that you use bullet points that link together, using good grammar, capital letters and full stops, for example. And my third tip for this exam style question is that if you name a biological process, make sure to explain what it is. For example, don't just say osmosis, but tell the examiner that osmosis is the net movement of water from a hypotonic solution to a hypertonic solution down a water concentration gradient until both concentrations are equal. So, in this example, state and explain why the efficiency of biomass transfer is low between rabbits and foxes. Please pause the video, following my 3 tips for answering this question, and then I will display the mark scheme. Here is the mark scheme for Part D. Just be aware that this isn't a past paper question. This is just a question that we've made up to try and assess if you understand this. So this will be a level question, level 1, 2 and 3 on your exam paper. So make sure that you approach this using a good structure and a good approach. So any 6 of the following, 1 mark for each. Not all of the organism is eaten. For example, The roots of a plant are not eaten by animals, the bones or the teeth. So for example, the cheetah may not eat all of the gazelle, may not eat the bones, the teeth, the skull, etc. Some of the biomass is used in respiration. Here is my third tip. Respiration produces ATP, which is used in movement or to release thermal energy in the transfer to the environment. So here we're explaining a little bit about what respiration is, having used the word in the previous sentence. Some parts of an organism cannot be digested, such as their hair and teeth containing keratin. Mammals lack the enzymes required to digest that protein, and so some parts remain undigested. For example, if you think of sweet corn is eaten and it's passed through as undigested waste from our bodies. In addition, the hair and teeth that are removed from the body in the feces. This is known as egestion. Make sure that you get egestion and excretion the right way round, and make sure that you understand both terms. Egestion is the removal of undigested food from the body in the form of feces. Excretion is the release of waste products from the process of metabolism. So it is the waste products that are released from chemical reactions that occur within cells rather than within the digestive system, as is the case for egestion. The final point here, waste products produced by the body are lost through excretion. For example, urea is lost in the urine, or another example would be carbon dioxide being released or exhaled from the body via the lungs. So during this video, you should now understand how to calculate the efficiency of biomass transfers between trophic levels, understand how much of the biomass from each trophic level is transferred to the next level, and understand how biomass is lost between the different trophic levels.